Hi, I'm Shane with ScaleTrains.com. I'm here with Ian and we're here to talk about the latest run of SD40-2s. So let's get started with BNSF. So Ian, let's start with BNSF.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the things that folks really love are lighting effects. So on the BNSF SD40-2, you'll notice a couple of things, like the headlight has been moved from the top of the cab down to the nose.
Yes.
And then BNSF went back and they added ditch lights. So let's show our viewers how all the lights work, including the LED number boards, the LED headlight, and the LED ditch lights. So in addition to the lighting effects, Ian, one of the things that you know that we do, we work really hard on is that road name and road number specific details. And as you and I were taking a look earlier, we noticed a ton of differences in not just one or two of the BNSFs, but all four. And some of the big things, you know, little things too, but if you look at all of the nose headlights, each nose headlight is different from the other. You'll notice green or orange, might have the stripe coming across, might be a little different color in the bezels, but each one's unique. And then, of course, the big difference on this particular one, on number 7165, is the orange tread plate detail, where the others are all green. And then a lot of differences in warning label placements, different types of warning labels. So a ton of different detail differences in those. And then other things that we do, you'll notice the two earlier versions, they've got the batten strips on the back of the dynamic brake, versus the later two, which that batten strip is not present. They're also on the 7135, up on the nose, on the engineer side, they added the Lars cabinet. And so a lot of things to make sure that each one is road name and road number specific.
One thing to note too is on 7165, we also see that the horn is elevated just like it would be on the actual prototype.
Yeah, so it's got that extra bracket on top to make it stand a little bit taller. And you know, and then the other big thing about these, you know, you'll see some things like there's cab vents on the first three road numbers. There's no cab vent on the engineer side on the last road number. And as folks take a look, if you go to our website, we've got close-up photos as well as what you're seeing here on screen right now, and that way you can see all of those road number specific details, plus they're all listed there. And you know, we should point out too that like all of our SD40-2s, there's some standard features that come along with them. You know, we mentioned that they all have tread plate detail. You have things like see-through steps. They all have the correct truck center spacing, so they're dimensionally accurate. You know, you look at like some of the depth on the truck, and it's got the EMD stamp on the die cast. What would be die cast on the prototype. Yeah. And of course, all the molded parts, you look at things like the see-through fans, radiator fans, dynamic fans. You can see all the fan blades inside. So it's got all that detail that you expect from a rivet counter locomotive. And when we take the shell off, you know, we show you the internals. If you've got the sound version, you've got two sugar cube speakers. All of our rivet counter locomotives include the ESU design power pack, which is a great feature. We're the only manufacturer doing that out of the box. And what that does, if you hit a dead spot in your track, dirty track, it's got two super capacitors, so it keeps that sound going on the inside for a few seconds.
Might keep it running a little bit as well.
Yeah, and it keeps it running so that that way you don't get that kind of dropout, and it runs through the whole sound sequence again. Okay. And, you know, and speaking of sound, as we wrap up this video, let's show all of our viewers, and we're showing here for all of our viewers what the horns sound like, what the bells sound like, the startup sequence, and we'll go through that now.
Sounds good.
All right, great. Well, as we wrap up this video, stay tuned to the end. You'll see all the sound effects. You'll see the lighting effects again. And as always, with ScaleTrains.com, you will see and hear the difference.